All right, guys, we can open it up.
Morgan, this is Nikki Jafala from the Washington Post. How's it been working with Masco so far, and how much does your role personally change at all in this scheme?
It's been great. He's been in the league for a long time, and he's been, every offensive line coach talks. So he's been friends with our past offensive line coach Bill Callahan. So a lot of the things that we've done in the past carry over. So it's been great just working with him and getting in the building and just understanding this new offense.
What did you do during the quarantine to stay in shape? Brandon Scherf mentioned the really nice weight room you have at your house. But to remain as durable as you have over the last 5 seasons or so, what did you do to prepare for this season?
Well, literally, like Brandon said, I had just built the house and moved in December, so I was able to maximize the weight room that I built, and I worked. I've been working out with Eugene Monroe, who's a retired veteran offensive tackle that played at UVA. So we've had some ties together and just been able to just grind through it. So for me, really quarantine really hadn't hit really on the workout side because I was already prepared with all the stuff that I had put into the house. So.
Morgan, John Kime, ESPN. Good to see you. Thanks for doing this.
Yep.
You brought up the quarantine, and you said it wasn't. Were there moments for you where it's like that you look back and say this was the crazy part of the quarantine for me, or something that you went through because of quarantine that just stood out to you? Do you have anything like that?
I had some family things happen that my father passed away in April, so that was a big hit to me. It kind of sat me down for a little bit, but then obviously I thought about some of the things that he would want me to do, and I just put my head down and just grinded it out. So I went into it, man, got as healthy as possible. I'm 100% right now, and I just feel good. I feel good going into year 7. So.
I apologize, and I'm sorry to hear that about your dad. Was that related to the virus, or was that something separate?
No, just a long battle of diabetes.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. And then I wanted to follow up on one other thing on the medical staff with the Trent Williams situation last year. You had offered your support of Trent, and certainly you seem to support a desire for change there. Have you seen that change that you had hoped for, and what has it been like so far?
Just talking to Ryan, our head athletic trainer, and just talking to Chad, our strength coach, and some of the things that they were changing throughout the off season while us players were gone. It was already kind of a jump ahead, just getting your body ready for the season and just communicating with Ryan and just talking to him about some of the things that they're bringing to the table and some of the mandatory things that they're going to do. Where everything goes through him, like he's the head boss man. So like there's nobody else that can answer your questions but him, and so he's very hands-on about the situation, and that's what we need. So obviously what happened with Trent happened, and I'm glad to see him back into football and doing the things that he loves to do. But the things that are changing here, the culture and just overall the people that we brought into this building, I think it's going to be a good one.
Thanks, Morgan.
Hey, Morgan, I hope you're doing well. It's nice to see you as usual.
Yep.
You brought up Trent, and I'm just curious. Obviously, you guys are friends and you're very close to each other. When you found out that he was traded to San Francisco, just what was your immediate reaction? You haven't had a chance to talk to anybody about it, but what was your reaction being friends with him, seeing him over there?
I mean, obviously, you go from now it's surprising because like now I'm like the oldest person on the line right now, so it's kind of like night and day. But it's football. This job is very difficult. You see people walk out that front door every day, and obviously you don't want to lose players like him, but it goes on. Like for him, I know he's excited about being with the 49ers and ready to get back to playing football, something that he loves to do. And for us, it's just figuring out who's the next guy up and getting that person in and feeling comfortable. So when we hit day one against the Eagles, they're ready to go. So it's a business approach. Our relationship will never change outside of football, and you just keep on moving on.
I imagine you can't wait to see him when you guys play the 49ers then. That'll be kind of fun.
Of course. It has to be a reunion.
But of course, then the last thing I wanted to ask you was just, what were some of the things that coming out of last season you felt like you needed to work on? You said that you put your head down and grinded this off-season. What are the things that you felt like you needed to work on? And then in the conversations with John Masco, what are some of the things that he impressed upon you that you think you need to work on?
Well, I'll start with the John Masco question first. It's just, the one thing that he said is like, hey, man, some of you guys have been here with Callahan have been coached well. So there's some things that, I'm not expecting you guys to change because you guys have been coached well by a great offensive line coach. And so as a veteran guy, you want to hear that because, you don't want to be able to have to change everything, especially when you're going into year 7. But and also that's just, the respect that your coach has for you and the respect that you have for your coach as well. So that's always a good thing to hear. And then also just for me, man, just reevaluating the season. Obviously, it didn't end how we wanted to. And I think when we started off in the offseason, I was about 330, 335, and I'm 317 right now. So I'm in some pretty good shape.
Thank you, Morgan, and congrats as well. And I'm sorry about your father as well too.
Thank you.
Hey, Morgan, Moises Linares, NBC Washington. You were talking about being a vet and the oldest guy on the line. What is that like? And have you been mentoring some of these rookies and some of these second-year players?
Definitely. The first thing, once we got the guys drafted and stuff, I was able to, reach out and text some of the guys and say, hey, man, like, look, I'm here. If you guys want to get in, and come to the house, to the gym and work out and stuff like that. We can get it in and stuff like that. But just, obviously this is our first week for the veteran guys being in here. So we're playing a little bit of catch up. The rookies have been here for a week already. But, just getting those guys around, the older guys like Brandon and I, Chase, who's been here, and just teaching them how to work. You come from college and, it's all, you got college ball, it's serious, and you got play time. So now it's like it's business. So like being able to leave from work and study and then going home and study on your own is a big learning curve. A lot of times you spend so much time in college in those offensive meetings rooms. Where here, especially with the the virus outbreak and things that are going on, we're not allowed that much time in the building. So just allowing those guys to understand that you need to study outside of the building. So when we come in here the next day, that we don't have mental errors on the offense and defensive side as well.
You're a husband and have kids. What's that been like with the virus? How have you worked through all this?
It was definitely a crazy schedule. Like in the morning time we had school. I taught my youngest son, and so that was good, man. Just being able to be around them. Obviously, for our job is year round, and people don't realize that. After the season, you might have a couple of weeks where you take off, but you got to get back to grinding and getting in shape, getting ready for OTAs and things like that. So just being able to enjoy my kids and enjoy the new house has been a great deal for me.
Hey, Morgan, it's JP Finley from NBC Sports Washington. I'm really sorry to hear about your pop. I wanted to ask you, though, you have been here a long time, and you've seen some pretty good offenses, especially, with Kirk when Jay had things cooking there. And
Yep.
Last year, the offense was pretty sluggish. What do you think of this group this fall? There's question marks, and then there's some proven stuff. It's a lot up in the air.
I mean, obviously, not having OTAs and not being able to be in the building is going to affect a lot of things. But I think just being here for the first week and just seeing how the guys have gravitated to the offense and picking up things and people asking questions and instead of just breaking the huddle and just say, I don't know what's going on, being able to ask that question like, Coach, can you break that down for me real quick before we run this play? And just spending extra time, with the guys, Dwayne getting all the receivers together and being able to throw throughout the off season and stuff like that. It's been a big change. Just seeing his change, knowing that he's going to be, the number one QB, seeing his change and his development over the years, it's probably been the most impressive thing I've seen from a rookie guy that, pretty much everybody kind of, written off. So just being able to see his development over the offseason has been great for a veteran guy to see the work that he's putting in. So I'm excited to see what this next chapter will bring for us as a team and just take it on.
You feel like Dwayne has put the work in to cement that QB1 role?
I definitely think, he put the work in, but obviously, all the workouts and stuff is just workouts. When you get that defense in front of you and, you get bullets flying and stuff like that, you really got to – that's where you want to make your decision. And so You've seen that he changed his body. He's changed it, the way he's eating, the way he approaches things. He's changed. But obviously, until we get into team periods and face the defense, you really can't tell if he's going to be that guy or not. And so he still has a lot to prove, like all of us. I'm a veteran guy, and I have a lot to prove for a new coaching staff as well. So it just takes everybody to be on the same page and to get out here and just put it together.
And this is my last one. Sorry. As the guy that grew up in Virginia, the Redskins have been a part of your life probably for 30 years or 25 years. How weird is it to just be wearing Washington gear now?
It's a little different, but change is always good. So, for us, we're excited to play this season. We're excited to, if we do get fans, we're excited to have them. Obviously, it's still up in the air with all the virus stuff, but just excited to play, man. Excited to play football, man. To suit up one more time and go out there and give it your all. So.
Thanks, Mo.
I want to go back to the weight room for a minute, if you don't mind. Are we talking like MTV Cribs here? Like how lavish is this?
Pretty much I have about 20 yards of turf in the house. I have a sauna, steam room, hot tub, cold tub, pretty much everything.
You could run the whole bubble out of your house then if we need to.
Oh, no, come on. Everybody come on.
I wanted to go back to you being the older guy on the offensive line. What does that mean for you? How do you embrace that responsibility of, understanding that you're the guy they look up to and look to for advice?
Well, first of all, it's a blessing to be able to play this long in the NFL, going into year 7, and just be here, But it feels good, man. Obviously, it's a new role. Obviously, for years we've been looking up, to Trent, who's been our leader on the offensive line, and you still have Brandon there, who's an awesome football player. So just being us, and the good thing about it is that me and Brandon pretty much became rookies together. His rookie year was his first year starting. My second year was my first year starting. So we kind of grew up together on this offensive line. So we have a chance to make this offensive line what we want to make it. And I think we have a lot of talented guys. I think we have a lot of things that we need to get done before we can say, hey, who's the starting lineup and things like that. But I think the guys that we have the capability to showing up on week 1 and getting it done.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Morgan, Pete Haley with NBC Sports Washington. Aside from Dwayne being the quarterback, a really important position, what do you see in him that makes you want to mentor him so much? Because he's always mentioning you as someone who's texting him or calling him. Your name just always seems to come up when Dwayne's kind of talking about guys who look out for him in the league. So why do you do that for him?
Because I know how it is to be a rookie, and I know how I didn't play much my rookie year, and then you get thrown in the fire, and then so I've been through that stage, and I know how stressful it can be, and I know how hard it can be. So you always need somebody like that. Like for me, my rookie year, I had Trent, and I also had Jason Hatcher, who was here, who we had just signed from the Cowboys, and his locker was right beside me. A lot of the things of like taking care of your body and just being available and being accountable for your team, to be able to be accountable for your team to have you out there on Sundays, is a lot of the things I've learned from those guys. And so it's my job to make sure the next guy up is ready to play. And I told Haskins, last year I said, look, man, you don't know how this thing is going to fold. The year before we played 4 quarterbacks, so you might get in there. They might say, hey, this is a redshirt year for you, but you might be in there week 8 or week 9, and then you go in there, and then it's all said and done. So just preparing them for that, and I think he's done a great job of just taking in the information and processing it. And I think he's what you saw in the offseason, especially during all the virus stuff, to be able to bring these guys in and throw with them and bring his coaches in and have his body look the way it looks, man. I think he did a great job of just turning himself around this offseason.
Thank you.
Hey, Morgan, Les Carver from Washington. Good to see you, and sorry to hear about your dad. I was curious a little bit. I don't know if your locker is still next to Dwayne in this iteration of the locker room, but what have you seen? You talked about kind of stuff with his body, but what have you seen kind of in his ability to kind of take that job and take that team and make this locker room his own? Has he kind of grown in that as well?
I think just his body presence. You talk about a QB, you want his body presence to be, you want him to stand tall, his shoulders tall. You want him to feel confident, and I feel that from Dwayne. When we break the huddle, like even when it comes to play calling, like he's not getting a call and mumbling it. Like you can hear every word he says in the huddle, and we break the huddle, we get up to the ball, and then we're just in the week one. So I feel like those are the things that he might have struggled with the year before that he has cleaned up, and just being confident. Like we understood. It's a rookie coming into a huddle with grown men. Like you don't really understand it. But I told him, I said, look, man, when you get in that huddle, if you go in there whispering to us, we're not really going. It's a respect thing. So if you get in there and say, hey, man, this is the play on two. You say it with confidence, like those guys are going to pay and they're going to be locked in, and I think he's developed that mental aspect of his game.
I was wondering too, as a local guy, living, commuting back and forth, and not having to live in the hotel during training camp. I mean, how hard is it to maintain that sort of soft bubble and not violated by going out a lot? Is that a pressure on you guys? I mean, you all have to police yourselves. How does that work?
You definitely got to police yourself. I mean, obviously, you got a lot of younger guys, and obviously those are the guys that you're going to worry about the most. And but you got a lot of veteran guys, bringing Thomas Davis in here, and then you got some veteran guys on the offensive line like me and Brandon and Jonathan Allen and Matt Ioannidis. Those guys are guys that play by the rules. And so when you have veteran guys and Landon as well, so when you got veteran guys that's been around the league and they know how important this is, like Coach told us, the team that takes care of itself the best is going to be the team that has the chance to win. And so with that saying, we believe in everything that we're doing here safety-wise, and it's up to us players once we leave this building to do the right thing as well.
Hey, Morgan, Sam, 48 with the Washington Post. I wanted to ask a kind of a specific question about the offensive line. One of your coaches was saying that this offensive scheme might be a little different in the fact that the protections are not numbers, they're words. I guess, what has that kind of adjustment been like for you, and how easy is that to pick up or difficult?
Well, for me, I've played through a number of offense coordinators here, so I've played through many schemes and things like that. So it's not been that hard. And John Masco, our O-line coach, has been a great coach to us so far, and just explaining what we need to get done. And then our assistant O-line coach, Coach Travell, he kind of tells us about the year where they had the lockout when he played. And it was similar to this because I think he told us when they had the lockout, that was the time that they got their whole new coaching staff to the Panthers. So it was kind of similar to how everything is happening now. So the thing is that we're all on one accord. So, it's nobody learning more than this person. Like, we're learning at the same pace, and it's just about executing. And even if you don't get the whole playbook in, it's just going into week one, knowing what you're doing well, you're doing great, and executing those plays on Sunday.
Mentioned that you really liked what you saw from Chad and Ryan and kind of changing things here. I guess, do any examples stick out to you as things that you saw that you were like, okay, I'm happy this is happening?
I'm just paying attention to the details, man. Just taking care of the guys, and listening to them. Like, hey, if you got this going on, just communicate to them about it, and then let them take care of it instead of just going out there and pushing through it and further damaging and things like that. So, just the staff just being able to talk to Ryan, who's our head athletic trainer, and then Ryan talk to Chad and say, hey, he can't do this because he has this going on. Just the communication base, and that's really all it is just communicating to one another and being honest about what was going on, and just going forward.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Parrish.
Hey, Morgan, I wanted to ask about Dron Christian. Obviously, with the left tackle being kind of an open spot, he's been around a couple of years now. Just what do you see from him that would either make a great starting left tackle, or just how is he kind of going about this competition?
Well, I think the thing about him, he's been here with Trent, so he's learned from Trent, and he's trained down in Houston with Trent. But his work ethic, you can see that he's put some work in over the offseason, and now the time for him to play has presented itself. So, it's for him. We always say, he's the next man up. So it's for him to take control of this position and run with it. And then other, you have the younger guys that's coming in too. Sadiq Charles is a great athletic specimen. The kid's calf muscles are like humongous. Brandon was talking about him the other day, but it's his time. So it's his time to shine, and hopefully, once we get going against the defense, he's able to show what he has.
And just quickly, you mentioned you were at 317. Just why did you kind of want to play at a lighter weight or be at that lighter weight?
Just durability. Just being able to not knowing what the offense was really going to look like, and so being prepared for every aspect that this offense will bring. I just know from watching the Panthers in previous years. They're a team that's been in the shotgun a lot of times. So just being prepared for that, and just as you get older, man, you just got to change some things, and you learn and you change some things, and just being able to get in tip-top shape, especially not having off-season and not knowing what this training camp and all those things are going to look like. Just being prepared.
From ads.com and
go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Sorry. Hey Morgan, it's Chris Russ from 106.7 The Fan and SI.com. Sorry for your dad. Quick, in terms of, I guess 2 parts. One, Brandon was telling us the other day that not having the OTAs really helped his body and recover. How do you feel about that, number one? And then number two, can you talk a little bit more about the bond and the relationship that you two have, Brandon and you? You mentioned you've been pretty much side by side now.
Yeah.
Again, being kind of the leaders of this unit. How on and off the field you guys have developed that friendship and that trust with each other?
Definitely. So I think definitely just having the extra time to prepare and not beating your body up obviously helped. I know it's helped a lot of players just get back to 100% healthy instead of like coming in OTAs and being 80% and still having to showcase what you have, and just being able to have that time to just get fully 100% has been a wonderful thing. But then also just me and Brandon, man, like it's just continue just being great on that side. Brandon's proven himself year in, year out. He's a great player. He's a great person, a great father off the field, and a great friend. So just continue that relationship on and off the field, and hopefully it's a trickling effect in our room. So that left side, obviously that whole left side is going to be a new side. So that relationship over there is as strong as the relationship that we have on this side. That way we can come as one unit and just play together. And that's the key, is just when somebody's like, I know when Brandon's hurt, I know Brandon's going to come back in the game, because he's like, man, I can't leave Morgan alone out here by himself. And I know when Brandon knows when I go down, he knows, hey, what I'm saying, I'm coming back, bro, like, because I'm not going to leave you hanging. So just that relationship that we built over the years is, basically starting this in this league together. It's been a great thing. So just continuing it. I think this is year 6 and year 7 for us. So continue just moving forward.
Mark Davis, last one.
Hey, Morgan. Mark Davis from Channel 12 in Richmond. Thanks a lot for doing this, and sorry to hear about your dad as well.
Yes, sir.
Richmond, for the past 7 years, has kind of been a chance for you during training camp to get down here and see family and friends and everything like that. I was wondering if you could speak on the disappointment of not having that this year, and how nice it's been for the routine the last 7 years to be able to do that.
It's been great, because obviously, I get down there. I always tell people, training camp doesn't really affect me, because I got my mom there, so I can go over there and wash my clothes. I can go over there and get a home cooked meal and things like that. But obviously, you gotta figure this out. This virus is no joke, and us going and staying in hotels is probably not the safest thing. So just having it here it's been fine. It's been great. I'm able to go back home and spend time with my kids and stuff like that. And hopefully we can get back to Richmond, man. I love coming home. So it's a part of my training camp ritual. So just coming home to Richmond. So hopefully, we can get back to that moving forward.
Thanks, Bo. Appreciate it.